Don't hit submit on another application until you have heard this entire video. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly updated your resume? And no, I don't just mean slapping your latest job title or letting Chad, Harry, Adam, Tanya, Gail, Paula, Terry, aka ChatGPT, handle it for you. I mean optimizing it for today's hiring technology. How many opportunities are you missing because your resume isn't getting through ATS? Since AI, the job market is not just competitive, it's automated. If your resume doesn't pass the bots, your dream job might remain just that, a dream. This year, your resume isn't just a piece of paper, it's your first impression to an automated, tech-driven world. So, is your resume helping you or holding you back? Today, I will show you on a popular job board how to beat the bots and stand out in a crowded job market. Don't let your dream job slip away. Let's get to work. Welcome to Scrum Academy. I am Scott Adams, your Scrum and Money Advancement Coach. Today, we're surfing towards something critical, your resume or curriculum vitae. Let's optimize it in 4 easy steps and make sure you're ready to win in today's tech-driven job market. Step number 1, the job board advantage. One of the coolest things about job boards is how they let you track your applications. Think of them as a Scrum tool. I'm a fan of Indeed. Some of my friends use Dice. Some of my friends use LinkedIn. I have tried those as well. But I look at it like this. I don't have time to be playing around. So if I'm on a platform and I'm not getting any hits, I'm going to move on to the next. So Indeed is my go-to because I'm looking at results. I'm not on these platforms to be playing around just to give you my resume, shake your hand, hey, how you doing? No. I have a strategy. I am driving my strategy. So what do these job boards do for you, thinking of it like a Scrum tool? Well, they show you how many applications you've submitted. They track where you are in the hiring process. They highlight how many other candidates you may be competing against. If you're not using these features, you're flying blind. Or worse, it's like you surfing without a board. Imagine sending out dozens of applications without knowing what's working or how you're stacking up against the competition. It's like running a sprint without a backlog. Don't try this at home. Before I go any further, did you read or listen to the Scrum Guide today? Why not? I have taken the time and recorded it for you so that when you're in your car, at the gym, wherever you may be, you can listen to it. It's the first episode on the Scrum Academy YouTube channel. Not only that, I'm just not reading it to you. I'm breaking it down. On my first Scrum team, I had a 1-hour commute to work, so I would turn my car into Car University. One of the things I would listen to is the Scrum Guide each and every day. That way, when I got to work and started talking with my Scrum team, I was already level set and coming from the Scrum Guide as the single source of truth. I recommend you do that. The more you listen to it, the more it will reveal itself. The more you read it, the more it will reveal itself. The more you go deeper into the words of it, the more it will reveal itself. Now back to our regular scheduled program. Step number 2. Let's talk about ATS, Applicant Tracking Systems. These bots are often the first eyes on your resume. If your resume doesn't pass their scan, no human will ever see it. Guess what? Game over before you even get started. That's where keywords, formatting, and clarity comes into play. Here are some quick wins for you. Use standard fonts like Arial, Calibri. Avoid fancy formatting like tables, images, graphics. See, these type of things will confuse the bot. Add relevant keywords straight from the job description. Here's an example. I remember going to an interview one time and we was doing introductions. This was a face-to-face interview at the particular time. shook the person's hand. Hey, how you doing, Mrs. Interviewer? My name is Scott. How you doing, Mr. Play? I kind of paused for a second. Luckily, I've been in Toastmasters for years, and in Toastmasters, we practice something called table topics. That's where somebody asks you a question, and you just got to go off the riff and answer that question for about a minute and a half. How you doing, Mr. Play? Well, you know that ain't my name. I know that ain't my name. I know what's on my resume, and I kind of figure out why she might be calling me Mr. Play. And she's smiling. I can tell she's joking. So I come back and say, it's okay if you call me Legos. She busts out laughing. You see, sometimes people may be asking questions just to see if you know what's on your resume. But the reason she asked me that question is because on the ATS scan, it showed my name as Lego Serious Play by design. And I'll show you that when I take you over to the job board and give you some tips in terms of A, making sure your resume is optimized for the ATS scans, and B, to tell you some creative things that I do to set me apart from everybody else. So I'll show you that as well. So it flagged my name as Lego Serious Play because of the quirky formatting I have on my resume. While in the interview I got a laugh, it also reminded me of how important it is to align every detail to ATS standards. When you submit your resumes online, you might be missing out on your dream job because of format. That's like failing a sprint due to unclear backlogs. Don't let this happen to you. A student of mine, Lisa, updated her resume following these tips that I'm about to share with you and saw an immediate difference. Within 2 weeks, she landed her dream job in product management, earning a 50% raise. Now let's go over to Indeed, and I will show you this ATS scan and some of the quirks that I have on my resume that, to the average person, would tell you, don't ever do that. But I'm a bit of a renegade type of person. I'm not normal. Because as I read the definition of normal in the dictionary, you know what it means? Average. I'm not average. Legendary, right? No, I'm not average. You're not average either. So if somebody call you normal, no, this stuff. I'm not average. No, I don't want to be normal. No. How do we get to the ATS checker? So you go to your profile, you click on resume help because we're going to be scanning our resume. You see a drop down here that says resume services. You have some options here, but we want to do the free instant resume report. If you already have a resume uploaded, it will give you the option to check that one. Or do you want to upload a new one? Then once you hit continue, you will get the instant resume report. Now here you can see it found 8 ways to improve the resume that I submitted. Nice work, no issues found. Overall, I do have, in the category of spelling and grammar, I do have 5 suggestions. Let's click on that and see what they're talking about. Basically, after my name, it wants me to put a comma before PSM3. I don't really care about that. Certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, it wants me to put 2 commas after that before I go to the next certification. Nah, that don't look good to me. I don't care if it's right or not. 2 commas back to back, I've never heard of that. So take this feedback with a grain of salt. Just make sure you're looking for things that it's not going to hurt you. This day and time, we got so many spell checkers out there. There should be no rhyme or reason that you have something misspelled or any type of grammar or punctuation. So definitely check for that. Now let's go to the actual ATS scan results. 1 field not found. As you can see, my full name is Lego Serious Play. Phone number field, everything is good. End date. On my actual resume, I do have my date of graduation for my MBA. It is on there. For some reason, the ATS software is not picking it up, and I'm cool with that. To me, that's not going to be a deal maker or a deal breaker. Got my total years, has my most recent employer. As I said, my full name, as you can see here, is Lego Serious Play. Now, Scott, you sound like you wasn't surprised in the interview when the lady called you Mr. Play. Right. I was not surprised because I knew that my ATS scan revealed that. And I did that intentionally because here's my thought process. My resume has a lot of unique things on it. In fact, I have a product backlog on my resume. I call it a personal development backlog. It shows them what I'm working on now. It shows them what I'm reading right now. Every now and again, I will get a recruiter or an interviewer to say something like, do you know you have a product backlog on your resume? I'm like, yes, I do. Now, they don't understand Scrum. So, of course, they won't get it. That's going to go way over their head. I perfectly understand. But for every Scrum practitioner out there, when they look at the third page of my resume and they see that I have a product backlog that highlights what I'm reading right now, wow, that's dope. No, that's super dope. So, same idea with Lego Serious Play. This is just to highlight one of the things that I can do, one of the problems that I can solve for a company, especially if they dealing with design thinking or they dealing with some type of ideation. Okay, that's already on my resume. If you don't know what Serious Play is, great. Because I put that as my first name, it's going to challenge you to say, hey, well, I don't think this is that person's name. So let me go Google what Lego Serious Play is. And then when they do that, it's going to be like, wow, oh, this is dope. This is cool. You see, I'm already creating conversation before we even talk. In that interview, we spent most of the time talking about Legos and Lego Serious Play. What is that? How does that work? I said, just like playing with the children. It's just ask a lot of questions, a lot of probing questions, a lot of coaching questions, different type of questions to try to take what's in your mind so that we can bring it to the real world so that we can build it. Because oftentimes we cannot articulate something that's in our subconscious mind. So we're going to use something like Lego Serious Play to help us with that transition from subconscious mind to the world, to reality. And we're going to build it through Lego. So most of the time, my interview is talking about that. You see, I planted that seed for us to talk about what I want to talk about. Strategy.
Yes!
So I'm cool with that. That's what I want them to say. They want my name. My name is on the actual resume. This is just to send them down a path. I'm not normal. Again, I think differently than a whole lot of other people. Now, you probably seen that. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody told you, oh, don't ever do that. Again, there's plenty of average people out there that are broke. This is the same resume. The data from that same resume, as I forestated, has made me millions of dollars in the last 5 years. Haven't changed it. Just updated. I noticed I did not have my end date for college on there. Not worried about that because that's going to fall in the background check. That's not a deal breaker or a deal maker. Because most companies do a check and that will be part of that background check. So again, I'm not worried about that. Not from ATS scan purposes. Now let's go to content suggestions. Employees often look for school grade point average in the education section of your resume if you're just getting started. But if you got some experience after about 2 to 3 years of work, as you can see here, you can take your GPA off. It's not really that important after you got some experience after your belt. Now keep in mind your resume length. I get students ask me these questions all the time. How long should my resume be? And here's my rule of thumb. As long as it need to be for you to communicate whatever it is you're trying to communicate. Now, of course, I got a lot of years of experience up under my belt, so I have a curriculum vitae. Because professional people have a curriculum vitae. Doctors, lawyers, whatever. That's somebody who's been in their profession for a while. So yes, I have a curriculum vitae type of style to my resume. It is 3 pages with my work history, my education, certification, things of that nature. Some other cool stuff that I wanted to put on there, again, to step out from the crowd so that you are an actual person looking at my resume and you got a stack of hundreds of resumes to look at. It's something about my resume. Oh, that resume going to stand out amongst all the other hard copy resumes that's in that stack. So I'm thinking about that same principle and concept as I do my online strategy. Okay, Lego Serious Play. Okay, that's on my resume. I can explain that. That's going to give me like an icebreaker to talk about. I'm probably going to spend 5 or 10 minutes in a 30-minute interview talking about that. Easy. My current resume is 761 words. They recommend 250 to 600 words. But again, my recommendation to you is to Make it as long as you need to communicate what you want to communicate. Now, I wouldn't recommend you make it 5, 10 pages long. I'm telling you, mine is 3 pages. So just make sure you're using complete, short, sweet, concise words. Make sure you got some metrics in there, things of that nature. And just figure out ways of how you can cut it. As you're going through each section of your resume, ask yourself, do I need this? Is this fluff? Or is that a story that I can tell in the actual interview? And we'll talk about that in the next episode. So you're aiming for 250 to 600 words. If you can manage that without cutting out something that you believe will set you apart, that they need to know, that you believe will get you the interview, I would recommend you put it in. Again, you got to make that decision for yourself. Everybody has an opinion. It's like a gluteus maximus, right? Exactly. So you can remove details that aren't relevant to your job that you're applying for. I believe sometimes in doing all the job hire paperwork is more than buying a house. I like to have as much information as I'm going to need that they're going to want, i.e. 10 years of work history, 5 to 7 years of where you live, things of that nature. So I try to have all that stuff already ready so I can just give it to them, boom, boom, boom. It doesn't take me a whole lot of time to get that stuff together. Some things to think about too on my resume, because I know once I get the offer, the first thing they're going to ask is for me to give them authorization for my background check. And they could want 5 years, 10 years worth of employment history and 10 years worth of resident history. Just depends upon the company and what they're looking for. So instead of going to research all that stuff, I pretty much got it on there already. And that is your ATS scan. So it's simple, nothing hard, nothing difficult about this, but it's important. Certainly a way for you to see how others are going to see your resume coming from the ATS system. Again, if it don't make it past the bot, they're not going to see. Hey! Hopefully you got a lot of value out of that. Make sure you share that with everybody you know. Because again, that ATS scan could be the thing that's preventing you from getting in front of a live person. It is very simple to do, but super duper important that you get past that stage so that you can get to a live person. Step number 3, personalization. Here's the truth. A generic resume is good as no resume at all. So what should you do? You should tailor each resume to the specific job in which you're applying for. Research the company and their values. Make sure their values align with your values and the Scrum values and the Agile values and all the other values that you may have. Otherwise, probably not going to like it. Incorporate job-specific keywords into your resume. And then, of course, use resume checkers like the one I just showed you on Indeed to spot formatting errors or inconsistencies or anything else that you thought was good, but just run it through there just so that you can see what they're seeing from the ATS end. Here's a pro tip for you. This one step alone can triple your chances of landing an interview. Think about it. Would you want a one-size-fit-all solution in Scrum? Then why settle for that in your job search? Most resumes scream jack of all trades, jack of all trades, jack of all trades, specialty of nothing, jack of all trades, jack of all trades. Which is the quickest way to get overlooked. Without clarity, you will end up in roles that don't align with your career goals. And what's going to happen then? Step number 4. 2 roles, 1 strategy. 2 roles, 1 strategy. Here's a pro tip for you. Always have 2 resumes. The first one is an ATS-friendly resume with simple formatting, no graphics, and tailored for the bots. And the second one is your human-centric resume. This is where you have your bold visuals, your custom layouts, your charts, whatever wild stuff you like to have on your resume so that you can stand out. Use the ATS-friendly version for online submissions to ensure it passes the automated scans. Then send your human-centric resume directly to the hiring manager or use it at networking events. One of my students, John, used this strategy and landed 2 interviews within 48 hours. Are you relying on just 1 resume? You're either limiting your opportunities with ATS or you failing to impress in person. Why not do both effectively? Now, how does this tie into the drive framework that I introduced you to in the last episode? Well, your resume is part of your job search backlog. Each application is a user story, and your resume is the deliverable. So let's go back through the drive framework so that you can see this in play. Define, align your resume with your dream role. Refine, tailor your resume with each job description. Implement, track applications with tools. Validate, adjust based on feedback. Applying to dozens of jobs without tracking results is like throwing darts in the dark. It leads to burnout, frustration, and repeating mistakes that you don't even know you're making. Your resume isn't just a document. It's part of your job search backlog. Think of every application as a user story and your resume as the deliverable. Track, refine, and improve. Hey! Feeling overwhelmed? You're not alone. That's why I created the Serial Scrum MasterClass. From crafting ATS-friendly resumes to negotiating high six-figure salaries, this masterclass unlocks your career potential. As a bonus, hey! The resume I use has secured millions of dollars in the form of Scrum Master contracts, and I'm sharing it in the Serial Scrum Masterclass. I'm no resume expert, but I found out what works and what don't work through the school of hard knocks. It's a hard knock life. Exactly. And let me tell you, that was very expensive from all the mistakes that I had made, and very time consuming for me to learn what I did not know. Not ready for the masterclass? It's okay. You can join the Give Yourself 100% Raise Challenge for actionable insights today. Hey! Your career is the most important project you will ever have, so treat it like one. Optimize, iterate, and strategize. You have two options to get started. Apply for the Serial Scrum Masterclass, an exclusive opportunity for those ready to take their careers to the next level. 2, you can join the Give Yourself a Raise Challenge, which I highly recommend you do that. This is perfect for those looking to start this year strong. And I have a special feature for both of these classes. If you've already been to the challenge, you already know. The Outstanding Overachieving 8. These are the persons who I took up under my wing and mentored one-on-one, all the way to building legendary teams. They are masters at their craft, and they are also millionaires. They're going to come by during the challenge and talk about their journey. So I want to make sure I give you that opportunity to meet them face to face. I'm inviting you to come into my circle, my family, in hopes that if you be around eagles long enough, that you will become one also. Indeed. So the Outstanding Overachieving 8, those individuals from my book, Mastering Millionaires, will come to the challenge. They also will be at the masterclass and do some teaching sessions as well. They will share how they achieve millionaire status. They will share their journey, how they building legendary teams, how they making all kinds of money for their families and building a lifestyle that they want and deserve. You just ain't gonna wake up tomorrow and it just happens. So not only will you be learning from me, but you're also going to be learning from them as well. We all are still practitioners in the game, playing it every day. So you're going to hear their stories and actionable insights that you can apply to your life and your situation right now. And that's going to be at the end of this month is the challenge. And the masterclass starts the beginning of next month. A new update. Going through applications now. I know many of you have been messaging me. I know I had a lot of applications that I'm going through. I have sent replies back to most people. If you haven't seen your reply back as of yet, you will see it this week. I have accepted 2 more applications as of today, so congratulations to you, future millionaire and serial Scrum Masters. Spots are filling up fast, so please don't hesitate. Go ahead and put your application in today, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. Don't let this year pass you by. Invest in your career. One of my favorite quotes from Jim Rohn, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Hey! I can't say that enough. Invest in yourself. So please share this video with somebody that you want to help. This year, my goal is to put out more wild content that can help you. So please do me a favor and share this with somebody you like, love, and want to help. Whether it's a peer, coworker, friend, doesn't matter. Whoever it is you're thinking about right now as you're hearing my voice, send it to them right now. Hey, look, you need to check this video out right now. This may be the reason you're not getting in front of a live person. Thank you so much for your support. As always, be agile, do Scrum, and be super duper legendary in all of your endeavors. In the next episode, we're going to talk about the interview itself. Getting you ready for that. See you in the next episode.